Oh, you can hear it just by talking right here? Do I have to speak up or something?
No, I'm just trying to get it to catch our voices a little better. Three, two, one, and we're live and we're back. Welcome back, guys. Here with me, I have. You're not gonna introduce yourself? Oh my God! We're just gonna put in like his name and credits instead. How you doing today, Kevin?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. All right, so we're here to talk about your immaculate story that you have about your life. So, where do you want to start?
Damn, where do I start? I don't know. Go ahead, hit me with a question. Anything you want to know?
All right, let's start. Birthday.
November 30. I was born in 1999.
1999. All right, so what are your earliest childhood memories?
My earliest childhood memories probably when I first began playing soccer. When I first started playing soccer, you know.
Yeah.
It was me, my brother, and my cousins. We didn't have much. We actually started playing for basketball. So that's how we started. And it never got into intentions to like a late age. Probably I was like 12. My brother was probably like 6. And my other cousins were like around 12 to 10 too. Probably my earliest memory, probably my best memory. Grew up with a lot of guys at the high school actually playing soccer. So that's probably one of my best memories growing up playing soccer.
So, was there anything troubling growing up that you found that kind of pulled you away from that, or that could have pulled you away from that potentially?
Yeah, probably at 12. I also not only that I started playing, but I got into it because my dad left. He had just recently left that year. For what reason, I still don't know to this day. He left that day, and during that same year, my mom actually got deported back to Mexico. So I was just me and my grandpa and my brother and my cousins. So it was just me and my grandma and my cousins, and including my aunts. That same year, 2 of my aunts got deported, including my uncle. So it went from a big family to a small family in just 1 year. It's probably like a first Christmas that year for both my mom and dad. So it's probably something that took me away from everything for a moment.
And I'm assuming your mom hasn't been able to come back.
Yeah, I'm actually with her right now. The one that never came back was my dad. So my mom ended up coming back the following year. And that same year, she almost lost her life coming across, actually. I think she passed out halfway through the desert.
Oh, so she came back illegally?
Yeah, no.
Wait, so...
She crossed.
But I mean, like, are we incriminating her? Maybe?
Maybe, could be, I don't know.
We're not going to put her name out. We're just going to leave it at that. But, so your brother is your younger brother, Brian, right?
Yeah, that's my younger brother.
So, like, has it ever been, like, kind of challenging trying to balance out being not necessarily his dad, but being that older brother and trying to help him understand why dad's not here, whilst you're also trying to understand?
Oh, dude, to this day it's still hard. You know, growing up with him, when he always ask me, "Where's dad? Where's dad?" You know, he was probably like 5 years younger than me, and he will always ask me that question. You know, how do I respond? You know, I'm like, well, be back someday. You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me just not to be a father figure, but also be a brother to him at the same time. And to this day, I still do that. I try to teach him as much as I can. But sometimes I try to be a brother, but sometimes I also try to get him to become an adult before coming out of high school, you know? Let him get a little step into life, you know, like a couple things he got to know before stepping into high school. Things I thought I would have learned that would help me. So everything I thought was very important to me, I try to teach him.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Because, like, usually when I hang out, you come across as very kind of, like, joking, but you're also super confident. So I feel like that partially comes from, like, you missing your dad. So it's kind of like you have to step up. So you got to have that bravado, like, okay, I can do this. Like, anything I put my mind to, I got it. Like, it doesn't matter. So that's how you come across. And I feel like part of that came from him being gone.
Oh, yeah, dude. Dude, when he left, it was just like, I had to make something out of it, you know? Especially, me and my mom never had the best relationship. So when she came back, it was just me and her, you know? So from that point on, we built on one another, you know? I put my trust in her, she put my trust in mine. And we grew, we grew as a mother and son, and we grew and we made something. My mom does her best to be a father and a mother at the same time. So growing up, that was my mindset, move forward. That's why coming to high school, always wanted to play soccer, man. I told you soccer was one of my earliest memories. Always wanted to play, always wanted to play for the school.
Our school was biased.
Always wanted to play, but never had the chance. I was always working after school, always working, trying to help my mom out,
I was always wondering why you never tried out.
That was one big reason I always wanted to. And I always told my brother, I might have had an opportunity, but you are.
Damn.
And I'm going to give you that. And the only time I tried out was probably back in middle school. I remember my first jersey number was number 16. And then when my brother actually tried out, he came home and brought that same number back.
Yo, bro, that's a teardrop, right?
And he said, I'm going to finish what you started.
Damn, bro.
So,
oh my gosh.
So he was like, you gave me the opportunity, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to take that opportunity.
Your brother do be balling, though, honestly.
Yeah,
he's a baller.
That's what I tell him, man. You should
just running through the blood, bro.
Like, I tell him all the time, man, you should really put your head into this, You have an opportunity, something I didn't have, now like...
Especially now with, like, the U.S. turning towards trying to work on soccer development, he could really go far. Or if he just decides to, like, try and go to Liga MX and then do, like, what... you probably don't watch that much, but what's his name? Laniez went. He went from MX, and then he went over to Real Betis, and he's trying to develop that way. Or, like... what's his name? Chucky Lozano. There's a couple of Mexican players that try and do that. Guys. Yeah, they'll try and do those transitions and go across. Because once you get across, it's nothing but up. There's nothing else but up.
That's why I try to push him towards that. But I notice that he has the same mindset I do. Work.
He's got to work.
Yeah, he has that mindset I had growing up. So that's what I'm telling you. It's not always about that. I did it because I had no other choice. But you have a choice.
Yeah, we got to convince him to put it towards that. And if he can put that work ethic towards that, he could be the best.
Man, he could be. I told him he could be anything, especially
because he's a baller.
You can get a scholarship out of this. He chose to, and go into college and go from there.
So, in terms of like you, what do you plan on going to school or anything?
I
know you study a lot of things on the random. I saw you were studying quantum theory the other day. So.
Oh yeah, I just got into that. I was never a reader. Became a reader now. I read poetry.
Okay, my guy stepping up.
So I started doing that, and I was actually at Lanier yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I want to go put in everything I had to put in for the summer classes. Just starting because coming out of high school, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what career path to take. So now I came across electricity.
Yeah.
Changed my mind. Like I'm very
You're enjoying it.
Not only enjoying it, but it's very competitive. I like a lot of competitive things. So I'm like, I don't understand it. But I go home and I study my fundamentals, get that down, and I come to work and I try it out there and come back. Home is like a little school for me, study there and go back. So then I was like, you know what, let me take this into college. Let me get my certificate. For my certificate, I'll probably want to go into my degree. And if I could, I'm probably thinking of engineering. Those are my main goals. And the only reason I'm doing that is because my brother said he didn't want to go to college.
He doesn't?
He doesn't.
Why?
He's same mindset. He wants to work. So I told him.
Dude.
So that's why
if he doesn't want to get the degree, he's got to go to school.
That's why I went back to school, so I can show him. If I can do it, you can do it too. Because he looks up to me a lot. So if I go back to school, I'll probably encourage him to do the same thing. So I started doing that. Yesterday I was even looking at homes. I was looking at 2M actually. Never got the deal, but I'm still looking.
Yeah, I gotta start doing that soon. It's not fun.
No, it's very fucking hectic, man.
Yeah, it's hard. So I've heard and so I've seen. It's really hard to get a home, unfortunately. But right now is the best time to do it with the housing market being the way it is.
Yeah, interest rates are right now low.
And I know a lot of realtors, so I'm hoping I can catch a deal.
I've been looking at like 15 houses already. None of them got my attention.
Well, if you need a realtor, I know 2 of them that work for Kellywood. I don't know if that's in your realm, but if you need one, I know a couple.
All right.
But what was that like trying to develop what was your relationship like with your brother, even though y'all were young, prior to your dad and mom leaving? Or your mom getting sent away and your dad leaving?
Me and our brother, we always had that bond. Always growing up. That's the cool thing about it, It's just that, when you see him, he's more laid back than I am. I'm more outgoing. I'm very an extrovert.
Yeah, your brother's kind of quiet.
He's very kind of quiet, but outside of you get to know him, he was just like me.
Yeah,
just like
I
me.
can see that.
You go to my house and he feels comfortable. He's just like me. He's no different from me. So that's why I don't drink. That's why I don't smoke. That's why I work. You know, because my brother does everything I do. Literally everything I do. He looks up to me. Even the car I got, he saved up, got his own car at 16 with his own money, his own work. I taught him how to save. I taught him how to do. He pays his own insurance, paid off his own car, changes his own wheels. Whenever he needs help with oil change, I help him with that. Anything, any kind of maintenance in the car, I teach him. You know, that's why I do what I do today. So I make sure he has a better impact in his life. Not only him, but my little sister as well.
And you had a little sister that snuck in.
Yeah, we're actually 5 years apart, each one of us.
Each one of us? I wonder why they waited 5 years. Well, prior to him leaving, what was your relationship like with your dad? Was it tough, or was it kind of like...
Man, me and my dad had the best relationship. That's probably what hurt me the most. Our bond was just very close, you know. And growing up, he was a very car guy. Like, he was very into cars, you know. And growing up, I loved him too. So I'll always be outside, whether it be the rain, whether it be in the cold. I was always out there when I'm working on something, you know. And I always wanted to do that. So growing up, every time I just got into a car, worked in a car, I'd be like, you know, bring those memories back. But we had probably one of the best relationships I could ever have. And it sucks that at some point he was my hero, you know. And
I mean, there's nothing wrong with him being your hero, even though he left. The impact he left behind is what's most important. Because even though he left and he ghosted you, at the same time, everything that you learned prior to him leaving is what made you who you are today.
honestly.
And him leaving made you a better person. So even though it's not the best thing, obviously there could have been other options. You wouldn't have been the Kevin you are today if he had never left. Like, everything that you're doing, the man you're becoming only happened because he left. So maybe it was for the better. Like, that's the story. That's the piece. That's that turning of your puzzle, so to speak. That's that final bit, the piece. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so. Not only that, but it's been like 13 years since I even heard of him. And like a couple months back, I remember I was never a church person. I was never into religion as big as other people were. Came across this guy named Carlos that works over there where I worked at. And he's big into that. And one time he put me into his room and asked, "Do you believe in God?" I'm like, "Yeah, I believe in God, but am I big into our religion?"
I'm not like a serious religious person.
Yeah, he was just like, if you could ask God for anything in this world, what would it be? Something that would bring peace to you. And it's crazy to me how I thought of my dad. And he said, pray every night and ask for him. And I did. And I asked God, you know, at least a phone call. That following month, I got a phone call from him.
Yo, that's mad.
I can't make this up. Like
Your dad called you?
God, and what he told me was the craziest part. Like, I'm not making this up. He literally told me something within me, God was telling me to call you. I'm not even making this up.
That's how it works, bro. Honestly.
And as soon as I said that, I got into it. You know, I started praying every morning. I started praying every night. I got more in touch with him. You know, cause like, wow, you know, he could move mountains. You know, he can do things for me.
Yeah,
so
a lot of people don't realize it until they actually believe.
And ever since then, I just been putting my faith into him, into everything I do, honestly. So yeah, my belief for my religion has gotten more bigger than it was before. And I try to get my brothers and sisters to pray to him. Like, I'm telling you, he's real. Like, he can do things for you. He hears you out. The crazy thing about God, he's available whenever you need him.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta make no appointments for him. Like, he's there when you need him. That's the craziest part. So when he called me, I didn't know what to say.
I know. Me personally, I don't know what to say. Like, what can you say? You have like a million questions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like part of you doesn't even want the answer, because when he answers, is it going to be something that's going to like hurt your feelings? Like, honestly, like, is he going to be like, oh, I left because I didn't care anymore, or something crazy? And you're just like, bro, like, I'm your son. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
Does he have another family? There's a million questions.
The craziest part is that he does have another family. And I have another sister that I didn't even know about, you know?
Damn.
And it's crazy for me because I try to give my sister and brother everything I can. So it's crazy for me. I have another sister, you know, stepsister, and I can't give her anything, you know. So we stood on the phone for like 30 minutes, not saying anything to one another. You know, it was crazy. He just kept talking. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. You know, like,
you didn't even realize he was gonna call me. You were shook.
Yeah. And he was like, "What do you have to say after so many years?" I was honestly, you missed out because I'm amazing. I told him, I'm fucking amazing, man. I'm something you never thought. Not only that, I became
the
the
monster
first.
you built is much better of a man than you were.
I was the first one to graduate from my family. The first one, you know. You just see my mom's face when I graduated. She's never seen this. None of my family's ever seen this. They ain't never.
Probably reminds me of my dad's face. My dad, he didn't graduate because he had to start working at an early age in Jamaica. And so, like, ever since I was young, it's always been school. Like, no matter what, because I've always loved sports. He's always loved sports, but no matter what, it's always been school for him. It's like, I need you to get that degree. I need you to get that diploma. It means nothing. It means everything to him. So, like, when I graduated, like, just like giving him a hug and feeling how tight he held me, like, it was something else.
Right.
It's like you feel like that pride, like, you did this. Like, it was almost like he was thanking me for doing something.
Yeah.
Because I always felt like graduating from high school was nothing. It's just basic, but it meant so much more to him than it could ever mean to me. And so, like, making him happy in that way is like, it's just special. It's tear-jerking, honestly.
It get a big impact.
Yeah, like, it's just special. Like, making other people happy is much better than making yourself happy.
Like, once I graduated, I had a couple of medals on me. My sister took them off and said, I want to be like you one day. And that to me was like, damn, you know, I'm really putting an impact to these kids, you know. My brother was like, yeah, you didn't see me. I'm going to get more medals than you are, you know. I'm going to do better things than you are. I'll go for it, bro. You need to go for it, you know.
Challenge them.
I'll challenge them, you know. Me and my brother, we're always challenging one another. Who's good at what? So that's why I try to compete him on, you know, who goes to school more, who works out more. Things that will help him.
Yeah,
you know?
Things that will make him a better person.
Yeah, a better person now.
Outside of, like, who can drink more.
Exactly.
Who can smoke the most blunts or something stupid.
So,
not that there's anything wrong with, I guess, partying, but it's like, at some point, it gets old because you're not actually growing. There's no substance in it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no growth. You literally, like, you could be the best drinker on the planet, but there's no accomplishment in there. Yeah, it's not gonna provide you any income, no wealth, nothing, no knowledge. It's just literally you partying all the time. So I mean, I don't know. I try and get, like, the people around me, like, to limit. I try and make it to where I try and help people understand that partying only lasts so long. It's like, once it ends, it ends. Like, there's no prolonging it. Kind of like thinking about things like, when you want to make a decision, think about how long it's going to last you. Like, is this something that's going to last me a couple of days, a couple of weeks? Is this a temporary, or is it something that's permanent? Because if it's something permanent, I want that.
That's why I tell my brother, I rather give you tangible things than intangible things.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was to give you the latest iPhone, you know, you can keep it longer. You know what I'm saying? But if I was to give you a different perspective looking at life, you can take that anywhere you go.
Yeah, if I could tell you, if I give you the blueprint on how to obtain multiple phones, or, like, you know what I'm saying, or invest in stocks, something
exactly.
like that.
I'm like, you carry that wherever you go. No one's gonna take that away from you. And I also tell my brother, and learn, because your brain is also a muscle. That's why, like, you learn, that no one's gonna take that away from you. No one is.
And no matter what, outside of, like, the most intense of head traumas, the only thing someone can't take away from you is your education.
Sure.
Your brain controls everything. So as long as your brain is developed and it's functional, that's you. Like, your body could be useless, but your brain can mean everything. What's that one? Stephen Hawking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that dude was paralyzed. He's like,
He was the smartest.
but he was the smartest man on the planet. Like, so, and he had everything. He had girls falling at his feet. He couldn't even do anything with them, but it was just because he was a genius. It's like, your brain is everything. So just develop that mind and develop, not necessarily your heart, but your heart a little bit. You know, like, learn to be compassionate and benevolent for others. Learn to branch out and try and make other people around you better. The better the people are around you, the better you are as an individual, because you're only as good as your surroundings.
Oh, that's true. That's why in high school I didn't really have much friends. I
always had small circles.
Yeah, same with me. I always make sure the guys I hang out with, and all the guys I actually hang out with was probably like Omar, his dad, diabetes. You know, I remember when I first met him, he was actually standing. Now I see him, he's in a wheelchair.
I didn't even know that.
My homeboy Chon, his dad was never in his life, so, you know, we can communicate one another. We know what that feels like. You know? So those are the friends I used to hang out around with, you know. So, like, I tell my brother, your circle puts a real impact in your life. Like,
Make
people
sure your
you
circle
hang around with,
strong people that actually care about where they're going.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why the guys I hang out with work, I try to hang out with the guys that know a lot, you know. And I hang out with a lot of older people because they have more experience about life than anybody else.
Yeah.
And they teach you things you're like, wow, you know, that
Yeah.
could save me a lot if I was to just hear you out for a minute. So I talk to them a lot.
Like, I just met this guy at work. What's his name? Damn. His name is Guy. He's from Haiti. His name is Guy Baptiste. I'm going to get him on the podcast one day. before this heads out, I'm going to get him on the podcast one day. But he knows how to play, like, something stupid, like 8 to 12 instruments.
Damn.
He works basically, like, 16 to 17 hours a day because he's, like, a nurse. And then he works that from, like, 7 to 5. And then he works with me from, like, 10 to 6. So he only really sleeps from, like, 5 to 10. And then, like, on the weekends, instead of just chilling and, like, spending his weekend, like, enjoying himself, all Saturday, he just, like, teaches various kids different instruments and stuff like that. And then Sunday, he buys a bunch of food and go feeds, like, the homeless.
Wow.
Yeah, like, those are people you want to be surrounded with. Like,
Exactly.
like, when he told me that, I damn near cried at work. I was like, bro, like, you could if you looked at him, because he sometimes, like, when I first met him, he was always, like, mean mugging, but he wasn't mean mugging me. He just naturally looks, like, almost, I guess, kind of tired.
Yeah.
He kind of he's got, like, the resting bitch.
A resting.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, when you start talking to him and he's all, like, cool and giggly and, like, he's just a chill guy. And then when I was listening to this part of his story, and then he was talking about how he had his girlfriend and him and his girlfriend end up having 2 kids, but he never knew she was illegal.
Yeah.
And so something happened. I think she got into a car wreck or something. Something happened. I can't remember what it was. And she ended up getting deported. And so his mom takes care of the kids because he doesn't have time. And he just constantly takes care of her. His mom, the kids, he always works for them. And then he works and sends money to the girl in Mexico. He's like, she'll never, as long as I'm alive, she won't have to work a day in her life because I'm going to make sure I take care of her. But he's trying to help her start up a business and everything else. And it's just like, you just never know who you're talking to sometimes. That's why I hate when people just prejudge people so quickly.
Yeah,
you can't say that's a bad person just because they look mean. Like my dad, he'll say he's a bad person, but he's not that bad. He's really just, he's had a tough life, and sometimes he lets the toughness in his life come out right then and there. And he's learning to retract that as he gets closer with God. But it's like him, if you didn't know him, like say for instance, Darlene, when she first met him, she always thought he didn't like her and he was mean and blah, 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 because he looks angry. And then when you start talking to him, he just nothing but jokes. He's just always just joking and laid back outside of when he gets frustrated. But he's always just joking and laid back. So it's like, you just never know who you're dealing with. So it's just branch out and talk to people.
And that's one reason I hang out with older people, because when I hang out with them, usually I tell them, tell me your story. Everybody has a story.
That's what this podcast is about. I just want to know everybody's story. Like what makes you you?
Yeah, everybody has a story. And things I hear is just like, wow, you know, I met people who have survived cancer. I met people that were locked up 5 years and doing big things today. You know, so it's just like, wow, you know. So I actually have a friend, his name is Jesse. He was locked up for almost 5 years, man. And he was nothing but just stealing, robbing, you know, that's all he was, honestly. He came out not knowing anything. You two meet him now, he's doing great, man. He has his own house. He's about to have his own kid. He has his own house, has his own truck. When I first met him, he was on foot. And he's doing things that I never thought he could, you know.
Yeah. Damn.
From the background he came from, I didn't expect that.
That's crazy. And like Guy, he said that he would teach me how to play piano, and then he's gonna teach me how to do stocks, cause like I want to do that eventually. I want to jump into that. Yeah. I want to do it bad.
I mean, it's another source of income.
Yeah.
What better?
Big time source of income too, if you can do it properly. But that's why I want to, cause he's been doing it for a while. I want to learn it before I even start. Like before I invest $1, I want to make sure I know what I'm doing, because I don't like going in without knowledge, because that's where you lack confidence, where you feel like you know what you're doing, but you don't know that you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And I don't like doing that, because I've done that before. Like I remember when I tried out for the soccer team in high school, my junior year. I practiced and I played by myself, but I had never actually played on a team properly. I had never actually played in front of people on a normal basis. So every time I did, I was always nervous, and it wasn't because I was bad. It was just I'm scared. You don't
I know that feeling. I remember the first feeling I stood to.
So it's just like that fear of just not being able to convey what you think and hear the rest of the way, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Not being able to perform at your best, and you know that you're better than that.
Yeah, I remember posting that once. Does your mind create your environment, or does your environment create your mind? You know, like same scenario. You're in a different environment that's creating a different mindset for you. Like, oh shit, you're not playing around. You know, hundreds of people. You know, you get nervous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you don't play this. Yeah,
you
exactly.
want to impress. You want to be. You want to stand out in the best way possible.
Exactly. I think your environment is very important. That's why I surround myself with a lot of good things. You know, both working out, going to school, working. You know, surround myself with good things that are gonna make a big impact on my life, not just other things like, you know, drinking, partying, like you said, you know. So that's why I try to surround myself with that.
Yeah, for me, like even like at home, if it feels dirty to me, I feel like terrible. Like I honestly have to always I clean like all the time. Like even now, I'm looking at the ground and I'm counting like dust beds. Like honestly, I hate being dirty. Like I just like I'm so meticulous with things that I care about. Like when I make this, if there's something that I edit wrong or something that I do wrong, I beat myself up for it for days because it's just like it irks me. I want it to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect for me. So like even it's like say we go and play soccer after this.
Yeah.
Every time I make a mistake, it eats me. It's eating me up so bad. Yeah. I hate it. Every time I miss a pass, every time I lose the ball, it pisses me off. It makes me mad because I want everything to go exactly how I envision it. And that bothers me so bad, which in turn makes everything worse because the more you're in your head, the worse it gets. Yeah, so you got to run off instincts. Unfortunately, sometimes your instincts are just off. But, so what's the plan outside of like electricity? Do you plan on like eventually opening up your own business, or are you kind of just going to go with it and see what happens?
For now, I'm just putting my foot on the ground, see where I can take the electricity for. But I always want to be my own boss. I always want to have my own company. That's for a fact, hands down. I always wanted to do that. Open my own business.
Yeah, because the way you are, I can see that.
I always wanted to. I always want to make not only that, but also a family business with my cousins. I always thought of a landscaping company. I always thought of that electricity company too. You know, I always thought of that.
What about mechanics?
Mechanics, it throws me down, man. It puts me down when I think of mechanics. You know.
I figure.
So that's probably.
It would be a real. Unfortunately, even though I'm not really a vengeful person, it would really be an FU, a good FU at least, not one where it's like you're just flicking them off. It would be a good FU. Like, oh, you want to leave? Okay, that's fine. I'll do even better.
Exactly.
But that's not the way to do it. You should never think of revenge.
One time he told me, how would I feel if he came back here? And I was like, honestly,
I don't need you anymore.
Exactly. It was just like, I don't, but if you want to do it for my brother, you can. He's growing up. He needs to know what a man is. And if you can come fix what you made, then yeah, go for it. Honestly, I'm good where I'm at. And he was like, well, can I give you anything? I'm like, honestly, one thing I want you to tell me is, just say you're proud of me. You just need you to say you're proud of me. I'm not asking for anything in this world. Just say you're proud of me. And this is my whole life I've been working just to make you proud. And you don't see it.
He can't see it. He's not here.
And he's like, I'm proud of you. And that hit me. Just him saying that hit me. Like, I teared up for hours. Because I've been working for 13 years for him to say that.
Now it's finally happening.
Yeah, and it's like, it makes me feel like, am I not enough? It was what I'm doing not enough. Like, I came out of high school. We lived in the trailer park with my mom. We shared rooms. We had hot summers. We had cold winters. Same temperature outside. We didn't have much AC inside, you know? We just shared rooms. We always worried about food on the table. 2 years of hard work got me where I am today. I got this nice apartment. I ain't never pictured an apartment with 2 beds and 2 baths. Never, ever in my life. Never did I ever picture owning my own car. You know, and now even purchasing my own home. Never that ever crossed. Especially where I come from. That never crossed my mind. So me just looking at homes and my brother coming with me to see homes, he's like, you should see his face.
He's ecstatic.
He's just like, are you gonna?
He's living the dream.
Yeah, he's like, you're doing things my family's like never done. That's the thing people don't understand. My family doesn't come from privilege. So the things I'm doing is that's why I learn everything myself, which is kind of hard, you know?
Yeah, because you can't really, the one thing good about school is like the teacher's explaining the concept and you're just replicating the explanations. But when you're learning on your own, you're replicating something you don't properly understand. And if you get it wrong, you could teach yourself something. Like say you learn multiplication and addition wrong, you'll be like multiplying instead of adding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You could teach yourself the wrong thing, so it's difficult.
It is hard, and that's why I always tell my brother, you have to be. You know what I'm saying? Any mistake I make in life, I'll make sure you don't make them. If I have to put my life to pick yours up, I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So I try to. That's something I try to teach them as much as I can. I try to teach myself as much as I can. You know, every day I learn. You know, so that's for me right now. You know, my families are better fucking home than ever, man. They ain't never pictured having their own pool. You know, having their own car wash. They ain't never had that.
Yeah.
So for them to have food on the table every day is like, you know, having warm winters, you know, cold summers. You know, finally having AC in the house. Don't have to share rooms. You know.
Yeah, that sense of like
freedom. It's a big freedom. That's something less.
I wanted to say
about.
freedom, but I was trying to think of a different word. But it is a sense of freedom. It's a sense of being or feeling significant, feeling like you're actually somebody instead of like feeling like nothing all the time.
Yeah.
And that's like the hardest thing. It's like it's kind of the concept somewhat with Black people and Hispanics or just poor people in general. It's like, how do you expect us to become something when we always feel like we're nothing anyway? Like, how do you teach someone that's always been taught that he's worth nothing to be something different?
You gotta be hungry.
Yeah, you gotta, stupid hungry.
You gotta be hungry for it. You gotta want it bad. That's always with me. I always wanted my life the way I want it. I picture myself crazy. I have this list in my house. I have my own notebook that I keep on my side of my bed, and I write down my goals, my long-term goals, my short-term goals. I do that all the time, every night. I write down how my day's gonna be tomorrow. I write everything down. Those are good. And if you write it down, I promise you, I don't care who you are. It'll come true. I promise you, it'll come true. Because I have writing things down that I have already marked off. Trust me, I have already marked off. Graduating was one. Getting my own course was one. Getting my own house would be another.
I'm going to start doing that, but I make lists, but I don't usually write them down. Damn, that child was nasty. Yo, fam, what are you doing?
They're getting intense now.
Yo, if you want to fight, you can fight, bro. Come on now. You don't want no nacho, bro. You need some cheese, bro. Honestly. They're lucky I'm not playing because I would have sworn on them. Like, honestly, I don't care. I hate when people play dirty. That's what bothers me most. If you foul, but like when you play dirty, like don't
that's
do
another thing, right?
I hate playing dirty. Like, look at like you do that to me. Honestly, I don't care if I'm getting sent off, bro. We're fighting.
Look at that,
yo.
No,
we're fighting,
yo.
Yo, dude. There's no way I'm throwing hands. Like, you're not about to disrespect me on TV like that, bro. No way. Just wait till they blow that whistle. As soon as the final whistle is off, I'm throwing hands. That's crazy.
I like Sanchez coming in.
He's not gonna do anything. They're putting Valverde at left back. That's gonna be tough. Sorry for this little intervention. We're watching the semifinal. My boy's going to the final today. My boy's going to the final. No, Man City.
Man City.
We can beat City too. We've done it before. We're going to do it this Saturday too. But like, I don't know. Dang, I kind of went blank. I'm still processing everything slowly. So like, in terms of your long-term goals, what's the ultimate vision for Kevin? Like,
the ultimate vision is having about 3 properties, 3 homes.
So you want to buy multiple homes and rent them out, right?
Yeah,
that's a real Hispanic thing.
Yeah, it's
a real Hispanic and white thing, and the one thing I don't like is Black people don't do that, and that's what bothers me.
I want to have different sources of income now. I want to have, like, the night if I lose my job tomorrow, I have another source of income. You know, that's what I want. I want to have different sources of income. I want to feel like I own something. You know.
Yeah, because I read this quote the other day that this man that has a lot of money, and he was like, being rich is like owning $1 million, but if you have expenses of $100,000 a month. In terms of wealth, that's only 10 months worth of wealth. Yeah. So being wealthy is having enough to where if you stop working, you can continuously pay your bills.
I actually read that in a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. You read that book, that's right in that book. It says the exact same thing you said.
I read that. Like, I'd rather have a sense of wealth, like a sense of knowing how to obtain income on a consistent basis to where I don't have to overload myself and constantly work and constantly feel like I'm enslaved to the same thing I've been doing for the past 5 or 10 years. I want to get to the point where I'm doing this as a profession, where I'm enjoying my life. And it's not just all based on money. It's really just based on enjoyment more so than anything else. Like, I want to enjoy what I do. In terms of like this.
Yeah.
You got like Joe Rogan, you have Brendan Schaub. Those are like fighters. But in terms of journalists, I like Gabriel Marcotti. He's from ESPN FC. You got True Geordie. He's a YouTuber who came from Newcastle in England, and he built his YouTube channel. And over time, he became what he is now. He would make a bunch of videos, and he would just talk about stuff. And at some point, people finally got interested. And now he streams every weekend. He streams over games and stuff. And people actually like respect his opinion. So it's like you got people, even though I'm not really into the political stuff, people like Ben Shapiro who aren't afraid to speak about what they actually are concerned with. Like he isn't gonna be like, oh, I hate gay people, but it's like he has no problem saying like, hey, like I'm not total agreement with it, but I can understand it from a legal perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna sit here and be like, oh, gay people are the worst or something stupid like that. But it's like he's gonna state what he actually cares about and say it without being afraid of what everyone else thinks. Those are the things I want to be. I want to be in a place where I can fully express myself without having to be concerned with the backlash. Because our generation is all about backlash. It's all about coming back and saying like, oh, well, you can't say that. We're going to get you canceled. What do you mean canceled?
Yeah.
You can't cancel my existence unless you kill me.
Yeah.
And then you're going to jail. So what's up with it? Like, you can't cancel me. That doesn't make sense. If you want to stop viewing me because you have a difference of opinion, I get it to some degree, but it's like you can't agree to disagree. Why is your opinion more valid than mine? Yeah. Just because you don't you agree with mine. You know what I mean? So I want to get to a place where I can articulate that we're all human and all our stories aren't exactly the same, but we can connect in ways that you would never imagine.
Yeah, with so many other people out there going through the same thing.
Exactly. And so many people go through pain differently because no matter what, pain is always going to be pain. It doesn't matter how you go through it. It's always going to be pain. So if you can learn to just be benevolent and understand the other person rather than just prejudge them or predispose them to nothing, then well, the humans, like, Earth will be a better place. If we just learn to listen and put an ear out and understand each person based on, like, not necessarily what they said in a bad moment when they were upset, but who they are as an individual. Like, I'm not saying all people are good people. Some people are bad people for different reasons, one or another. But we have way more good people on this planet, and we just got to learn to love and respect one another. But that's hard to do, apparently.
We're very narcissistic in our generation.
Yeah, especially.
Very, very narcissistic.
And everyone wants to get rich quick, but it's like, it's not about that.
It's not an overnight thing. You know,
and it's not even just that. Being rich isn't everything. It's not about having all the money in the world.
Exactly.
It's about being happy and radiating happiness, so to speak, making the people around you happy, making the environment around you happy, making your community better. Everyone wants to get rich and then like move to LA or New York City. That's not where it's at. What about bringing up your community?
Where you started from.
Yeah. What about instead of going to LA and going to New York, why not make the community you're from LA or New York? Bring up everything around it. Get some people that are intelligent, work with some different people, and develop different businesses and different business models.
Give other people opportunity you ain't never had.
Yeah, exactly. But people don't see it that way. They always see it as, oh, get money and get out. It's like, it's not about that. Get back to where you started from. Because the same way that you had no doors open and someone opened a door for you, you can open a door for somebody else. Eventually, there's so many doors open that it's a flood.
There's another person just like you wanting the same opportunities. Exactly. You can give them that opportunity.
Like, look at Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the biggest city in Georgia, and it's one of the biggest cities on the planet. Atlanta used to be just a rundown nothing. During the Civil War, it was literally trash, completely nothing. And now it's the international hotspot, the biggest airport in the universe. Like, we got to take into account what's going on. Our city is something special. We gotta take care of our own. You can't go and give people you don't know money, but not take care of your own for whatever reason. That makes no sense to me. Like, why would you not take care of the people that took care of you?
Exactly.
Give back to your teachers. Give back to your officers for one way or another, whether
your
you like officers. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me that everyone wants to run away, and it's like I don't necessarily want to stay, but at the same time, it's like I want to take care of where I started. I don't have to be here to take care of it, if that makes sense either.
Yeah.
Because I kind of just want to see other places, but at the same time, you want to take care of where you started. Take care of your parents. Obviously, that's a little touchy with you. Cause I don't know how much you're going to actually want at that point to take care of your dad. But
I want to take care of him.
I was going to ask you that. Did you ever find it to forgive him?
It was at first, but like I said, that guy, Carlos, the one that's very into church, he told me forgiveness is one of the most important things in life.
Most important.
And I did. I forgave him. I called him back the second night, and I said, I forgive you. And he started tearing up. And I honestly told him, I forgive you for everything you've done. There's a reason for me to keep you so judgmental within me. You're going to be my dad regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be a different person. And my grandma always said this, like, don't be the same person you don't like. So if your dad never loved you, doesn't mean you don't have to love back. Because you're being the exact same person he is by doing just that. Be better. My grandpa is actually still locked up until this day. Back in Mexico, he'll sell, kill, going into that category. He used to do all that easy money, as we say it over there. And
unfortunately.
And he ended up leaving my grandma, my mom, and all my 5 aunts. And they'll go from house to house, house to house. They didn't have a home, house to house, house to house. Luckily, I didn't get to see that. But they'll go from house to house. And my grandpa was over here making money, living his life, right? Had his own family, blah, blah, etc. The day he got locked up, guess who was there for him?
Your mom.
We were. Since day one, we were. And he's still locked up to this day, and we still give it back. Because my grandma taught us not to be the same person. And it hurts him a lot.
It should, too. Not that I'm, being vengeful again, but it's like he just has to understand that you can't abandon yours. You know what I mean?
Exactly. My grandma always taught us that. She's like, we're not going to be the same person he was. I refuse for you to be the same person he was. Yeah. You're going to be better than that. And it's going to hurt him more. Of the cycle. And every time we call him, he breaks down all the time. There's not one time he don't break down. Because it hurts him seeing how we take care of him, but he never can do the same for us. So that's one thing. My grandma had a big impact on my life. And to this day, she's very humble. Very humble. I think that's where we got our humbleness from. So that was with my grandpa right there. Did I ever talk to him or so? I never met the guy. Never met him. When I was born, he was already locked up. And he's not getting out. He just
he's paying time for
he's paying time for what he did.
Yeah. I never met my grandma. I know minimal amount of family members on my dad's side.
Yeah, so do I. I came here at an early age. I came about 4. I didn't really get to meet a lot of people from my dad's side.
And then I haven't seen my sister since I was 6, 7. Yeah. And she's so close, but she's so far, dude. She's only in Connecticut, but it's it seems like such a long way.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know how I'm gonna react because that's my flesh and blood. But it's I haven't seen her in so long, and my brother doesn't even know her.
Really?
Yeah, he's never met her, so it's just this weird feeling of what do you say? What do you do?
Yeah,
do I hug you? Do I shake your hand? Or we're family and strangers at the same time.
That's crazy.
It's such a scary thing to think about.
Asma said the same thing. What would I do if one day I get to come across my dad?
I can't wait to see her, but at the same time I'm nervous because what am I gonna say to her? I don't know. It's a terrifying thought.
It is. Because I think the same thing. What if one day I come across my dad? What would I say? What would I do? And something that keeps in your head. You're damn, what would I do? But I always tell them, when the day comes, they'll come. I don't know what I'll say, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, just pray about it. And whatever happens, happens. The worst that can happen is y'all never talk again.
Yeah. I try to keep in touch with him now, every now and then now.
Yeah, not on an uber consistent basis.
Yeah. He's always talking about how he's sorry about everything, but just talk to me like this.
Yeah,
ask me how my day is.
Don't worry about
that.
Don't keep asking for forgiveness because it's
I already
already
gave it
done.
to you.
Yeah.
He was ask me
See
how
that?
my day
The issue is he hasn't forgiven himself.
You think so?
110%. Because the only way you're continuously begging for forgiveness, although someone's already said they've forgiven you, is because you haven't forgiven yourself. So maybe you should tell him to pray about it and forgive himself. It's much harder. Because honestly, if you put yourself in his shoes, he's got to feel like the scum of the earth. As a man, to leave everything you built behind
and see him do something big with it,
and then to just go do something else.
Exactly.
It's tough. It's gotta hurt. So I don't know. I don't know. For me, my kid, even though I don't have any, my kids are everything. my kids will be everything. I will literally.
That's what
I know it's cliche, but I would die for my kids. I would do everything I can to make sure my kids are happy, healthy, and they have everything. If they want the moon, they can have the moon. That's how I feel. My kids are everything. I want them to have everything. They want to be like, hey, Dad, I want to go to Disney World. We can go tomorrow. You don't have to go.
Exactly.
That's how I want my kids to be.
I want
my kids to have everything.
So much.
I don't want them to ever want in their life.
Man, that's the same way I think too.
Because I never did, so I refuse to let them ever want in their life. Like, if they're hungry, that would kill me. If they ever have to say they're hungry, that's gonna kill me. If they say they're thirsty, they're hot. Like, no.
You ever came across that?
What, me? Yeah. Not really. My parents always made sure I had everything. Even if they didn't have it, they made sure I had it.
Yes, that killed me a lot.
Yeah,
my mom would be like, I'm not hungry. And she hasn't ate nothing all day.
So it's like,
I know you're hungry.
It's just, I never want my kids to struggle. Like,
probably one of the sweetest lines I wanted to just to make sure I ate. She'll be like, no, I'm not hungry. Like, I know she hasn't ate all day. She's telling me she's not hungry.
Yeah, I'm tearing up.
So that to me was like, that's what I do whenever I kill my mom. Try to keep her ahead, you know.
Yeah, my mom's everything. For me, like, in terms of like talking, me and my parents aren't super close because I've always just been a distant kid. As I got older, that's just how I've been growing naturally. But like, I don't think they'll ever understand how much I appreciate everything they did for me.
That's what to my mom, like, I'm not sure, but honestly, I
appreciate everything, dude.
If you see me doing all this, because of you.
Yeah, everything that I do that's right is because of you, and everything I do that's wrong is because I failed you.
Exactly.
That's how I feel.
So that's why I try to do as much as I can to teach my brother. My brother just...
I try to do that too. My brother's weird.
Really?
Yeah, he's just into different stuff. I'm trying to figure out what he's into to break that crack. Because he's not he's competitive, but not really. He's competitive to a degree. Like, I hate losing. Like, honestly, like, I hate losing.
Everybody,
I hate losing bad. Like, honestly, when I lose a game of FIFA, I'm pissed. I'm literally like walking around the house like an idiot. Like, I hate losing. Even when I lost to you, I was pissed. I hate losing more than I hate anything else. Like, I love winning. Like, winning is everything. It feels so good. Like, there's nothing better than winning. Winning is like the holy grail, bro. Like,
it's the way to go.
The only thing better than winning is winning again.
Right.
I love winning so much. But my brother, he's kind of content with just, I don't even know. Like, honestly, he's like content.
He's satisfied.
Yeah, and I want him to not be satisfied. Like, I always teach him, like, if you have this, like, if you got a PS4, you should want a PS5. You should want a PS6 when it comes out. You know what I mean? Like, you should always want more. And it's not because you're greedy. It's because if you stagnate, you'll never reach your full potential. You should always want to be more.
And it becomes a habit, you know. Just being hungry all the time becomes a habit. Wanting the whole time, you know. That's what me. Like, when my supervisor told me, you're the only one that comes at 5:50.
Comes in early?
Yeah. So you know what I started doing? I started coming in at 4:30. And he's like, why? Like, because no one else is going to do it. In order for you to replace me, you gotta have someone waking up at 4:30. You gotta have someone that wanted more than I do.
Yeah.
So he's just like, you're right about that. So I work me. You gotta want more than I do. And I know there's someone out there that wants it more than I do. I know someone out there wants it more than I do.
If the opportunity's there.
So that's why I try to work as much as I can.
Yeah.
As best as I can. Cause
I can't remember whose quote that was, but it was like, dang, who was it? I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Messi. He was saying, like, I try and, even when I was younger, I tried and juggled or play with the ball at least 10 minutes every day because I know every day that I don't practice, somebody else is. And every day that they practice, they're getting better than me. And every day that they're better than me, I'm falling further behind. So it's like, every day that you fail to get up and try and push forward, someone else is going to overachieve.
People used to ask me all the time, like, what motivated you to get up every day?
Being better.
Mine was just waking up and going to my mom's room and seeing my brother and my sister in the same bed. And I was like, you know what, I gotta get it. Until I got to the point where I see them in their own beds. So I'm just like, you know what, I did.
And now the next thing is their own house.
Yeah. That's how I did. Those are the reasons I do things in life, you know. You gotta find your why in life. You don't know if you listen to Eric Thompson.
Eric Thompson.
He's a motivational speaker.
No, I haven't.
You should listen to him. He's a very good, man. That's one thing I listen to a lot.
I like
Eric
motivational
Thompson,
speaking.
Les Brown, all those guys, man.
I like motivational speaking because I like trying to motivate people myself.
You should listen to Les Brown.
It's difficult though, honestly.
It's difficult to listen to?
It's difficult to motivate people.
Really?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that I know family members that if I could just get to them just a little bit, they'd be so much better. But it's hard.
Man, I definitely agree with that.
Because it's like they just don't want it, and it's not even like you don't have to want to be Bill Gates. You just gotta want better than what you have now.
Be better for yourself.
Yeah, like once like you see the speaker underneath the TV.
Yeah,
I have another one in the room. So it was a single one, and after I got it, I was like, nah, I want the two ones on the side and the mini one on the bottom. Like, I just constantly want more, dude. Every time I finish a project, I want more. Like, I want more. I don't want to stop wanting more, because once you stop wanting more, you stop growing. So for me, I always
don't ever get satisfied.
Yeah, like I'm only satisfied on a temporary basis.
You get comfortable with it.
Yeah, like I put lights around the TV. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, the lights went out. Within 2 weeks, I bought another set of lights. Got lights around these. Like I constantly just want to keep trying to figure out a way to make it look better, and it's hard because it's like at this point it's set up nice, but it's like I just want it to be better. I want it to be the best. I want when someone comes over like, damn, I wish my TV was like that. Yeah, I want people to be like, damn, my TV should have been like that. Something like that. I never want people to be like, oh well, my setup's better. No, your setup's not better. And if it is, what do you have? What do you have that I don't have? All right, bet I'm gonna go get it.
You can do better than what they do.
Yeah, that's how I like it. The only thing I haven't been able to do at the list is cars, because for cars, things like that, things that are like, I guess kind of say like your phone is kind of like, it's already set in. So it's kind of like, I have the car that I have. I got it from my parents. I want, not my next car, but at some point, I want the Tesla Roadster. That comes out. Yeah, that's my dream car.
Mine's a Ford Raptor.
Really?
I always wanted a Ford Raptor. I'm gonna get it too. That's for sure.
When I saw that Teslas came out and I saw that one, and I saw the speed that it hits, 1.9, 60 seconds and 1.9. 60 miles per hour in 1.9 seconds. I was like, that's me. That's my car.
That's the future.
Yeah, that's the fastest car on the planet. By a couple seconds. Not a couple seconds, but like 0.5 seconds. The fastest car on the planet is the Tesla Model S right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's number one. It's tied with another car, but it's number one. And then they're going to beat it by 0.6 seconds.
Do you think cars will be replaced by electric cars sooner or later, gas cars?
No.
Or do you think that's going to be hard to do?
It's impossible to do.
It's probably hard to do.
I think it's impossible because we're always going to have a need for gas. The same reason that our military is sitting in the Gulf for no reason.
I heard we're running out of fossil fuel.
Where? No, we're not. It's cap. No. Fossil fuels. It might not be completely renewable, but the thing that people are forgetting is this planet is really old. And they keep saying, oh, we might run out of it. So you don't think the fossil fuel that was underneath the fossil fuel we're tapping into hasn't been growing? Like, it just stopped when we became existent? Like, that's not how this works. Like, it'll be really hard. And like say us in the Middle East, America in the Middle East, we have no business being there. We have our own oil. We're just there because we want to be there. There's no reason to be there. We don't need the oil that's there. We have our own oil. It's just this idea that if we control what they have over there, then we can hold on to what we have, and then eventually that's the reason they're telling us that it is run out. They're hoping it runs out so that they control the market.
Okay,
eventually, that's what they're doing. You want to be the monopoly. You always, the same way you said you want your own business, they want to control the market. They want to control the business. That's the real purpose of it, but it's like, that's never going to happen. Like, honestly, I don't see fossil fuels ever running out. I feel like electric cars will take over in the sense of everyone's going to want one, but
this will be a new thing.
Yeah, but the gas car is always going to take the way because electric lasts less time than gas, unless they make giant batteries.
Yeah.
So until that happens, the electric car is always going to be a second behind. But outside of that, the electric cars. Have you seen a Tesla? I've always wanted to sit in one just for a starter.
I actually wanted to sell one.
I want to sit in one so bad because like it's got like a little tablet. Huh?
You thought of anyone?
No, I want to own it. If I don't want to rent one to sit in it. I want to just sit in one that's already owned.
Also, you like fast cars?
Yeah, I like speed. I've always liked speed. That's the reason I play at such a high speed. I should just slow down. Like, honestly, if I slow down, I'd probably play so much better. But I always like playing with this just go. Because, like, I like the way that I like to do things is I like to overwhelm you to the point where it's like, you don't think we're contesting. You think I'm superior.
Yeah.
You give up. I'm bending your will. I want it to be where, like, at the end of the game, at the end of the fight, whatever it is, you don't think, oh, I could have got that. You're like, damn, like, this dude's so much better than me. That's how I am. That's how competitive I am. So, like, if we play FIFA and it's close, After a while, if I beat you more than once, I'm not accepting a close game anymore. If I don't beat you by 3 or 4, then I'm pissed at myself because I didn't do good enough. Like, I don't like games to be close. I don't like contests to be close. If we're racing, I don't want it to be that close. Like, I like to be far ahead of everybody. I like to be the best, and I like it to be obvious. I want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to be the best person in the room. Like, no matter what it is, like, I really couldn't care any less. Like, I just want to be the best, and I want you to know I'm the best.
Ooh, there it is. There it is. No. There it is. There it is.
Let's go! We're going to the final, baby. Let's go.
Sets it on.
Let's go. Oh my God. Oh my God. 2012, baby. Let's run it. Oh, that's it, baby.
That's how it coming.
It's been happening for a few minutes. Ramos, you can go suck out your mom. Courtois, you're a snake. Hazard, suck these nuts. Like, all of y'all are just, I still love you guys. Oh my God. I almost cried, bro. I've been waiting for this moment for years. Everybody keeps talking trash about Chelsea. Oh my God. First, I want to thank my mom, my dad.
As soon as he did that, I was like, yeah,
that's a wrap. When this passed, if it wasn't so heavy, he would have scored himself.
That's what I was
saying. Bing, shoot, doom.
The defender, though, what was he doing? He had it right there.
Militao.
What was he doing?
He shut off.
Look, he had it right there.
He got caught ball watching. It wasn't even Militao, was it? He got caught ball watching.
Look,
he got caught ball watching. Look, Mina.
He forgot who was behind him the whole time.
He didn't know who was behind him. Look, he's just trying to kick the ball. He ended up kicking. That's a penalty, honestly. They're not going to call it. If he had missed, they wouldn't have called that, but that's a pen.
Look at that.
Oh, my God.
That's it.
Moments like these, you can't buy. Like people think that parties and stuff is nice. Stuff like this, you can't buy this. Like, these happen once in a... These are dreams. These are literally those moments where you want to be Iron Man and Superman. This is it. Like, you can't buy this, bro. Like, oh, my God. Oh my God, Mason Mount, the guy to do it. Everyone talks about how trash he was. Everyone talked about how he wasn't good enough for Chelsea, and he's the man to take us to the final.
That's it. That's it right there, doesn't it?
That's game.
4 more minutes.
Yeah, they have to score 4 goals. There's
no way.
They're not gonna score a hat trick of goals. They're not scoring 3. That's game.
Damn.
Well, honestly, they only have to. No, yeah, they do have to score 2. Yeah, it'd be away goals. We'll probably score 3rd. The way the game's going, because they're
very under pressure right now.
I mean, honestly, everyone's talking about Real Madrid, their midfield, their know-how, they've won it before, and I'm like, I'm tired of hearing that. I don't care how long you've been playing.
It's cool.
If you show up on the day and I am better than you, your experience isn't going to change that. I'm going to make sure it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, that was a late challenge.
That was a late challenge. Wait there.
He needs to get subbed out.
He's junior right now. He's up and going right now.
He looks injured. He limped. Where's all thought of it?
I love seeing 2 different teams go in the final. Then the same teams are every year.
Yeah, that's why I stopped watching basketball. I was tired of watching the same team play every year. People were like, oh yes, I'm not trying to see LeBron in the finals every year. I miss the days where it's like the Celtics won, then the Mavericks won, then the Heat won. It was like, oh snap, we don't know who's going this year. Now it's like you guarantee know that 3 teams are going to be in like the semifinals.
Yeah,
and it's
in your head already.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what's the point of watching?
Barcelona did bad this year.
Barcelona been trash this year.
Barcelona's ever since they took their...
Barcelona, the issue with Barca is they tried to be Real Madrid, honestly. They tried to be Galacticos and tried to like buy their way to finals, and that's not really how this works. They stopped playing like Barca, honestly. They stopped playing like Barca, and they stopped being Barca. La Masia doesn't even matter anymore.
No.
Like, how many graduates are in the starting lineup that's not Messi? And that's it. Really, I don't even know if Piqué is a graduate because he came from Man U. I don't know if he started at Barca.
How about Busquets?
Oh, yeah. But Busquets shouldn't even be starting, honestly.
Honestly,
I always had that question. I always wonder, like, Barca is so focused on your name, they don't even pay attention to your performance.
Right.
Hazard didn't do anything in this game.
Who came off?
That's daddy, though, bro. No homo or nothing, but Hazard's daddy. 100%. That's my favorite player.
Was that your idol growing up?
Yeah.
My idol was always Coutinho in Isco.
Coutinho?
In Isco.
I have a friend that plays just like Coutinho. The long shots, the way he cuts.
I love him.
He's a little faster, though, I think. But the way he plays is like literally he'll just chop, cut, boom, smash. You're like, bro, where did this come from?
Exactly. Now
It's out of nowhere. But for me, it was always like Hazard, Marco Reus, Lewandowski when he was at Dortmund. I hated when he left. Those are my guys, bro. Yo, fam, where's the yellow card? Honestly, bro.
The second, isn't it? No, it's the first.
Send him off, dude. That was dirty, John. I hate how those are on the yellows, bro. I don't know why Aspilicueta's playing. I love him, but like you shouldn't be playing, bro. He should not play in the final, honestly. We're gonna get dogged if he starts in that final. That should be a red card. That's just like the ball's gone. That's reckless endangerment. Like you're just trying to take him out of frustration. Valverde's a baller though. I'd take him at Chelsea.
You ever been to a game?
Ever been to like Chelsea game or just a game in general?
Just a game in general?
No.
You ever
I've
been to
been-
Mercedes game?
No. I was supposed to buy us tickets, but
Tuition?
COVID. Yeah, COVID.
Damn. I've been probably like 3 times already.
Really?
Yeah, first time was free tickets. I got 8 free tickets.
For what?
I was working at a Continental. Those are sponsors back then.
Yeah, I remember Continental Tours.
Yeah, and they're like, get as many tickets as you need for your family. I got 8.
Damn.
And it was during my brother's birthday, actually. It was at my brother's birthday, actually.
Yeah. I was supposed to take her for her birthday, but I never got to because of COVID. So we're gonna go see Fluffy.
Mexico said you're gonna come. Where's Honduras? Next month.
For what, a friendly?
I think
Or for the Gold
I
Cup?
think it's this month or I forgot.
Is it for the Gold Cup?
I'm not
No,
sure.
there's no Gold Cup this year. Is it qualifying?
I don't know what it is. Honestly, I'm thinking.
I hate the CONCACAF setup, bro.
Why?
It's not like the European setup. Obviously, the teams aren't as good. But it's
What's
like,
up with you in the United States?
what's up with Jamaica is what I want to find out, bro.
I
What's up
don't
with Jamaica, dude? Jamaica need to step it up, honestly. Like, we have all these players that just don't play for Jamaica. They're just sitting there waiting to play for, like, England. And it's like, bro, you're not playing for England. Just come play with us. Like, we're good enough to make it.
You look at all that. Look at that. They know they
But
won
their
it.
brother,
They won it.
yeah, but it's
They
like,
won it.
look, those are all 3 Chelsea graduates. Like, this is so beautiful, bro. Like, this team is just built. And then I love how Lampard's the one that built the team and Tuchel's the one that finished it. Because, I mean, no one's going to give Lampard credit, but he deserves the credit. Like, he built the team. Ooh, that's a hella good cross. Come on, clean sheet, boys. Clean sheet, boys. Clean sheet, boys. Don't give them any hope. What, are you talking about that one little move of Madrid? That's their ball. But at least we killed like 30 seconds. To put that some pressure. This is the first time Zidane's been knocked out like this.
Really?
Yeah. He always wins. Till now.
He always is. But
Yeah, we're gonna win the final too.
you think so? Manchester City has a good squad. I ain't gonna lie.
I couldn't care any less.
Did you see how played?
I have 110%. That's one thing. I don't know if anyone else is gonna see it, but if y'all remember Jeffy's Instagram, hit him up because he has no respect or faith in his team. I told him from the get-go, I said, Chelsea's winning the Champions League this year. And I said, I have full faith in my team. Like, I don't know why you keep disrespecting my team. I believe in all these guys, no matter how much they... That's a free kick.
That's a foul.
Bro,
No, they
what? The things that they don't call, but then they'll call, like, flops.
Stupid ass shit.
Come on, see it. Come on, see it. Put it. Pass the ball, bro. What are you doing? Oh, my God, I hate watching him play. Kick rocks. He literally slowed down the play for no reason. I hate when pro players do that. They're trying to be patient. Like, just go, bro. Hit the gas pedal. You're faster and more skillful than him. Just take him on.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get, like, y'all should be professionals and be professionals and be
Zuma
confident. Uzuma?
Yeah.
Thiago Silva. That's the only place that I like that experience because Thiago Silva would be balling out, honestly. Havertz.
That's it right there. That's it right there.
Boom.
That's it right there.
Oh, that's game, though. Why did that? How did he do that? Yeah, I figured that he side-footed it. Should have aimed for the other corner and bent it. That dude's balling. Like, he'll be like running and it doesn't even look like he's running. That dude's just he's got swag. There's no other way to put it. When I watch him play, I'm like, damn, bro. He makes it look so easy. He's like barely trying. He'll like nutmeg you and just walk off like he's not even trying, bro. It's like, it's disgusting. Giroud. I hope we win the Champions League. He deserves some champions. He deserves some more trophies. He deserves respect, too. Honestly, I hope he walks up to Benzema and just calls. Benzo was talking all that trash.
Was it really?
Yeah, he was like, he said something like last year or 2 years ago. He said, don't compare me to Giroux. You don't compare Formula One to go-kart racing.
Damn.
You're right, bro. Like, no respect. No respect, bro. And now Benz is going to sit there and go back home to Madrid with nothing, and Chelsea's going to the final. Oh, what ballers. What ballers.
That's crazy.
I love this team, honestly. I bleed blue. I remember watching us lose the final. I didn't even know the name of the team. I just knew the color was blue. And I remember watching. Yes, Drew, get that assist. Penal. Es un penal.
That's not penalty.
Bro, what?
That's game either way.
So that's a pen.
They ain't need it. You know they ain't need it.
Still, bro. Like the more the merrier.
Well, there you go.
Everybody's like, why is it in Spanish? I'm just gonna, bro, like, honestly, y'all have no respect. No respect. Everyone kept saying that we couldn't do it because we didn't have the experience. But that does not matter that much. Y'all need to stop.
Yo, that's crazy. Look.
Y'all need to stop. It means so much, dude. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine the feeling of actually making it to Champions? I guess people take it for granted. Like, it's the only thing bigger than that is a World Cup final. Could you imagine playing in a World Cup final? Dude? Oh my gosh. Honestly, I would die to win a World Cup final.
I'll play so nervous. You understand the world's
pressure?
In your hand.
But you don't even have to play nervous because if you lose, you're in a World Cup final. Like,
yeah, just the environment.
How many people on the planet have been to a World Cup final? Bro? Like, there's not even like 1 million people on the planet. There's not even 100,000 people on the planet that played in a World Cup final. Like,
that's crazy,
dude. The Champions League final, bro.
When is the next World Cup?
It's the next World Cup next year. It's gonna be the weirdest World Cup too.
Why?
It's gonna be in December.
December?
Yeah, because it's gonna be in Qatar.
Where?
Qatar.
Where's that at?
Middle Eastern country.
Wow, never heard of it.
No, I didn't either. Till like 3-4 years ago. Honestly, it's a small Middle Eastern country with a ton of oil money. Yeah, and it's stupid hot. So even in December, it's gonna be like 90 degrees every day.
Wow, is that why they put it in December?
Yeah,
so it's cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna have it in December to cool it down, and then they're gonna have like I want to say 1 or 2 periods per half, or they'll have a stoppage. To drink water. Like they did that in Brazil.
Yeah, they did that in Brazil.
But they're gonna have it even more because it's stupid hot, and it's hot and dry because that's near Africa. And
yeah.
It's kind of like Georgia. Georgia's stupid dry during the summer. Damn, that game that boosted me. Honestly, I can go conquer the world now, bro. Honestly,
go.
Oh my gosh. Well, we kind of got off topic, but this has been fun. Kevin, my boy, came in. We got a small piece of his story. We'll get the extension later. Maybe after he buys his first house, so we can see him tear up on it. That would be dope. See him tear up talking about buying his first house. But I'm gonna leave your Instagram where you can see all his pretty boy pics and the description. And then, I think that'll be it. But we'll catch you guys later. Peace, love, and happiness, and we out.